They're okay. It was just a bunch of kind of little stuff, I guess, that was really nasty. Alright, so this door's open. I talked about it last game, and I'll say it again. That's not a threat to me. That's actually a good thing. It encourages patrols over on that side. This door being closed is also a good thing, though if there were a camera there, it would be a little bit better. Or, since there's no camera, if it were open, once again, it would encourage more patrols, which is always a good thing. That camera is good, but it means that I can't walk up the stairs with the body, so... I got lucky on my manager patrol. He came out right away. He does not have keycard. So what I typically do in this situation is, I know keycard's on his desk. I'm going to come over this way. Camera's facing this door, so I can't get away with anything. I'm going to have to go around it and take it out. Then I will grab my body bag and I'll put it in my go-to spot, which is behind this vent. Never had them spotted there, which is why I just use it all the time. That looks like a definite double patrol. Not double patrol. This is my patrol. Oh gosh, really? It is a double patrol. Okay, one went outside. I'm okay. Okay, that one went outside. I think this one's a fakie that's going roof. He went outside too. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's one parking lot and one stationary. That's what's happening. I should be okay on time. I think I'll be okay on time. And I got manager, so I'm just going to chase the other one down after this happens. Basically what happened there is this guy is my standard patrol. This guy is my patroller. I don't know why that first shot didn't kill him. I also don't really know why he was not that far gone and why he insta-detected me. I think he might have paused to patrol here. It's... one sec. There's a sieve there. I don't want him to see the guard's body. It's fully possible for a guard to stop right next to these cones. They'll stop like right there and they'll just sit there for a little while. And I think that might be what he did. That or I just drastically overestimated his movement speed. It's one of the two. But either way, now I have two guards off the map. Ironically enough, here's my third, and he's in my favorite dominate spot. I don't know if there's a camera facing it, so I'm going to ECM just in case. As soon as the exclamation mark goes off, start spamming F. Don't let go. You should be good. I can go in and get keycard now. You can always sneak through this office crouching without getting noticed and get the keycard. As long as you have the stealth perks in the ghost tree, it works out. If you don't have the perks, I don't know if it works. I wouldn't try it if I were you, because I don't think it would. So now that I have all my patrollers down, the last step that's left is to take security room. That's an easy, just open up, beat down. I'm going to answer this pager, and then I'll be ready to take the rest of the bank. Because I'm solo, and I recommend this to you guys as well, I'm going to take out my outside civilians before I go into the rest of the bank. That's the opposite of what we normally do. We usually take them out at the end, but because you're solo, if you get a civilian that pops up outside when you're trying to deal with the rest of them, you're really going to be shit out of luck. So it's in your best interest to take care of this soon. And as long as you catch them around the corners of the map, it's pretty easy to avoid getting detected. All of the civs that walk on this map will patrol to some corner where you can kill them, some area where you can kill them. There is a possibility for a civilian to spawn looking into this red car's back window at the beginning of every map. If you do see that civilian spawn, I highly recommend that you go and take it. It's extremely helpful. It gets one of them off the map later on in the game. So that's two. Assuming that I'm going to have one on the bench, which is pretty much 90% of the time, that'll make up my 3 outside civilians, so I should be good at this point. I do have one on the bench, so that's my 3 outside civs. There can be 4. I've seen 4. in that event, you know, it's something you just have to deal with when it pops up. But 3 is by far and away the most common. I haven't seen 4 in quite a long time. Okay. Because of the fact that these 2 civs over there are not 1% dominant, are they even there? My god, they might not be there. I could be really lucky. They aren't there. Okay. Those 2 civs are not a 100% guaranteed safe dominate anymore. They used to be, but something that they changed in one of the patches, I don't even remember which, changed that and allowed main lobby to detect when you take down the other 2 civs. But these 3 and this guy are all safe as long as you get cameras. I took security room, so I'm good to go. This guy will almost always fall out of his, not almost always fall out of his chair. As soon as he puts his hands up, then he's fair game for a command. Up until that point, he will ignore every single one of them, so there's no point in spamming it. Because of the fact that those civs are not there, I can actually start this drill and be 100% safe. Main lobby does not hear this drill, so once you have this room down, you're pretty much good to go. But what I'm going to do is take main lobby anyways, because I know some of you guys are curious about how I would do it, and I want to show you as much as I can. Okay, so my first step is to pick lock this door. It's not going to take much time, but you want to pick this door and get into position behind the tellers. That's pretty much the closest location to their doors without being seen. You can get relatively close to both locations without going through the back by taking either the printer room on the left side here or standing outside on the right side, but I prefer to just come inside because nothing detects you anyway. So that door is closed, which means I'm going to have to go in on this side. I know that there's a guy on bench, and I know that I have this lobby full, so I'm going to ECM, kill my 2 tellers. I'm going to get this entire lobby down, hopefully with 2 Fs, probably 3, and then I'm going to go up and get the guy outside down with a few Fs, and then I will come back, make sure everyone's down again, then I'll jump outside, kill that civ, body bag him, come inside, and finish tying people up. Two Fs. This guy. Down. These. Sweep. Make sure everyone is down. Outside. Kill. Bag. I usually don't leave the body because if any civs are still up, they'll notice it. Jump back inside. F again. Make sure that everyone is down. You know, last thing you want is somebody calling. I'm going to ECM again because... No, I don't have a second one. That's right. I used one to take a guard. I have no more cable ties, so that means from here on out, everyone is a civilian that you have to kill. This is the reality of solo play in this game right now. You have 5 cable ties, so you have no choice but to kill a pretty ridiculous amount of civilians. Once again, this is one of my complaints about the game. They encourage you not to kill civilians, they fine you for killing civilians, but then they give you no way to CC them permanently other than cable ties or civilians, and they nerf our cable ties. I realize that the company is encouraging group play. That's what their intention was 100%. There's no other logical explanation for why they would do that. They want people to work together as groups and use all of their zip ties, but I don't think that's the way to do it. I think that the proper way to do that, to encourage more group play, would have been to reward it better. Maybe give people an XP bonus or a money bonus or like a payday bonus for playing in a group instead of playing solo. Don't detract from people's ability to solo. You shouldn't nerf another part of the game so you encourage players to participate in a different one. You should bring the different one up to par with the one that you're going to nerf. Seems like a pretty basic concept to me, but apparently they don't understand it. So here's where I turn my sound effects volume down so you don't have to listen to the drill. And ladies and gentlemen, please sit back, relax, and watch that drill timer count down. This is going to be a fairly quick run. As far as solos go, they're not the most quick of things, and sometimes they're not the most entertaining. Sometimes you have to wait for your patrols a lot, but as long as you're patient and you know, if you're lucky, you get a good spawn, then you will probably have a good shot at it. There's always, like I said, a chance for a fourth civilian, but it's very low. I'm not too concerned about it. Other than that, I guess the only other situations I would have to cover would be... Okay, so say this door is closed instead of open. All that you would do different here is all of your patrols would be either upstairs or out the front door and around the parking lot. So you would have to wait in different locations, and your camera here you would probably want to take out sooner because your patrols would be going roof. If, let's say, this door had been open on spawn, the only thing that would be different is that there would be a patrol path where guards could come out of there and come up the stairs. And that's a much shorter path than the traditional parking lot. So if that door is open and you take a camera upstairs, you need to watch this side for, I would say, about 45 seconds to a minute. And at that point, you want to run over and check the other side of the roof, check the other door, make sure that a guard's not coming out. And after that point, I think it's in your best interest to kind of sprint back and forth and just check both ways, because after that point, it's pretty much up in the air which way they're going to come from. But the typical guard patrol path out of this door would follow something along the lines of, there are two of them. They can either walk out and walk straight up, or they can walk out, they'll kind of futz around, they'll patrol over to here, then they'll walk back to here, and then they go up the stairs. So if you ever see one coming out here and he looks like he's just walking away randomly, he's not. He's still going to come upstairs. He just has an extended patrol path out that way. I think they did that because civilians often spot you when you're taking manager right here, if they walk right there, and that's where the body or the tied up civilian would be if you left it there. So the guard patrolling over to that location actually makes a lot of sense in terms of game strategy, I suppose. If you had no cameras, if you were unfortunate enough to have no cameras outside, your only bet is to wait for at least one guard to patrol and manager to patrol. After that, you can wait for a second guard and then dominate the third, or you can dominate your second guard and try to get a kill somewhere. It's possible to take a kill right here and get these civs down without alerting lobby, once again, if these civs aren't there. It's also possible to get a kill inside this room. I haven't done it since the full game came out because it's extremely risky and it's really easy for people to hear it. But if you manage to sneak in here without getting detected and you melee silently and the guard doesn't fall far enough forward that this room can see him, then you'll be okay. That's pretty much the only inside kill spot that I'm aware of. I think people get detected if you kill them just about anywhere else. 620 viewers? What? Oh gosh, wow, it really is. That's a pretty insane boost. Okay, so I actually got a really good bank here. I got 7 stacks of money. That's quite a bit. The maximum stacks is 8, minimum stacks is 4. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this is pretty good for a bank. Normally, I would have people with me, obviously, and they would help pick the lock boxes, or they would saw the lock boxes, actually. I'll have my own saw in 2 levels, as a matter of fact. It's one of those things that I'm speccing for because I need it in just about every one of my runs. And I've done so many banks at this point that it would be pretty ridiculous for me to not have the capability to saw my own. Plus, then I will add a lot more... I would say I'll add a lot more utility to the teams that I join because I'll be able to run stealth and saw, which is a pretty absurd combination. Yeah, it was a pretty... I was trying to think of a way to scale that, but when you have 4 to 8 bags, I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, you would divide up by like 2.5s based on 4, 5, 6... No, there's 5, so 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 bags. So you'd have 2 for every bag, so I guess 4 bags would be a 2. 5 bags would be a 4. 6 bags would be a 6. 7 bags would be an 8. And 8 bags would be a 10. If you really, really want me to flesh out the whole scale idea. So our money is almost done here. About 15 minutes is a pretty solid solo when you take out civilians outside and you're guaranteed safety. That's only 6 bags. I definitely had 7. Did I forget one? Or were there 6? Guys, am I crazy? I thought there were 7. Did I count wrong? I think I counted wrong. I think there were only 6. Unless I really messed something up. Yeah, there were 6. Okay. Yeah, so that's about it as far as a stealth solo run goes. My pay is not going to be very good because this one wasn't a pro job, I'm pretty sure. This was just like a normal or a very hard bank. But the spawns and everything else will be exactly the same when you play on Overkill and when you play on Pro. But you can see for a very hard bank, I got 2 mil cash there, or 2 mil offshore and 113k spending cash for about a 15-minute solo. Now I obviously have higher levels than a lot of people, but if you take away my Enforcer perk tree, my actual core stealth tree doesn't take too much to complete.